Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing today?
It's a great Thursday, Max. How about you?
It is a great Thursday, Caden, and we have a World Series that we kind of predicted like a week and a half ago. We can kind of see shaping out a little bit, but Dodgers versus Yankees, and I know you're excited. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, this is obviously not the World Series I wanted to see. Definitely my two least favorite teams in the league, but it should be a really good series. You have the Dodgers, who ended up going and beating the Mets in 6. The games were none of them were close.
I was gonna say it was
not
either the close.
There was in every game, in each game, a team was up by at least 6 runs in every game. It's the first time that has ever happened in a 7-game series in postseason history.
Which is just goes to show you the sheer unevenness and the fact that this kind of was not super enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, no, this series, it wasn't a great series to watch, I'd say, by any means. You'd have Dodgers go up, they won 8-0, they'd won 9-0. Mets won like 9-3, they won 12-6. Like, none of them were really close. But the Dodgers offense did look good. You still have to worry about Freddie Freeman's ankle. He hasn't been performing that well this postseason with that ankle. It's been hampering him running the bases. He hasn't even been hitting as well. He's still obviously a great defender, but Dave Roberts even benched him for that Game 6 where they ended up clinching. Their pitching, though, is what you really need to look at here. Their bullpen was able to lock down when they needed to, when they'd have those big leads. Blake Trinan is back, and he's looking absolutely disgusting. They've been able to use Evan Phillips in that more setup type role. And, he's been their closer these past couple years. He's been one of the better closers in the league. So that's great for them to have those two. Now, in the starting front, you have Jack Flaherty, who will be throwing Game 1 of the World Series. In his career, he's only pitched against the Yankees once in his career. He's thrown 6 innings, didn't allow a run, 4 hits, 2 walks.
Very small
sample size. So we don't really know what's going to happen with that. He threw great in Game 1 against the Mets. Game 5, he got shelled. And his velocity was down as well. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on just to know what's going on. And, is his velocity going to be back up to where it usually is throughout the regular season towards the start of the playoffs? Or is it going to keep ticking down right to about that 90 mile an hour, which was not going to be good for the Dodgers and will really help the Yankees be able to hit it?
Yeah, I was going to say, Kid, one thing that the Dodgers don't want is for that ball to get down too low, because we know the kind of offense that the Yankees possess and what they're able to do when balls get hittable.
Yeah. Going into the Yankees, that series with the Guardians, that series was amazing. We were able to see close matchups every day, a couple walk-offs. Like, we saw the Guardians' big walk-off. We saw great extra innings. So, in that clinching game by the Yankees, they're able to, in extra innings, off 100 Gaddis, 2-strike count. Juan Soto's able to fight off some disgusting changeups, something that the rest of the lineup probably can't do.
He's able to vision on that Caden was ridiculous,
and he's able to at last second react to be able to just fight it off and then get the pitch he wanted. Gaddis tried to go a high fastball, didn't get it as high as he wanted to. Soto was able to send it smoke deep to center field and was able to get that go-ahead 3-run bomb in the top of the 10th. Then you have Giancarlo Stanton, who's looking more like Giancarlo Stanton, the one that we're used to seeing. He has led the American League in home runs in the ALDS. He led in home runs in the ALCS. He's leading all postseason players right now in home runs. And when he's hot behind Judge and Soto, and Judge even finally hit that first meaningful home run in the playoffs in his career. He had that big game, the go-ahead home run, game-tying home run, because Stanton hit the go-ahead after, to tie it up earlier in the series, which, they ended up losing because of the David Fry walk-off. But Luke Weaver, since he has transitioned into that closer role, has looked really good. He throws mainly changeups, and then he's able to then beat you with the fastball like the little time he does throw it. When you're looking throughout this series, it'll be, both offenses can hit, obviously. You got that 1-2-3 of like a Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie is filthy.
Disgusting.
You got the top 3, of the Soto, Judge, and Stanton, who all just hit bombs, will all get on base.
Those 6 stars right there, Caden, is probably what the MLB commissioner goes to bed at night dreaming of. Let's just be real.
Man, Fred is so ecstatic that this is the World Series that he got. But when you're looking at this series, with the Yankees though, they're pitching. Like, you have Garrett Cole, who's throwing Game 1. He obviously won the Cy Young last year and the year they met. In his career against the Dodgers, he's a 4-2 record with an ERA of 5 though in 41 and 1/3 innings. Obviously, so that it was with the Pirates when he wasn't that good. So obviously, take it with a little bit of grain of salt. He's a completely different pitcher than back then. But you look at it, he hasn't fared particularly well so far in his career against the Dodgers, but he's still Garrett Cole, one of the best pitchers in the league. They'll have him for game one, and then later in the series when needed. This matchup, yeah, you'll need the middle relievers for the Yankees to do good. You'll need the Tim Hills, your Clay Holmes, like people like that to be able to come in, get outs when needed, when the starters can't succeed throughout, whether it be, and I mean, Garrett Cole, yes, but like a Rodon who he's looked better this playoffs, but we still haven't seen him back to like that full potential we saw him with the White Sox and Giants in 21 and 22. And then the latter half of that, the Yankees rotation isn't like anything special by any means. So you really hope that the bullpen, especially those middle bulk relievers, are able to get outs, limit any damage so that you can get to Luke Weaver in the 8th and the 9th, and then be able to winning games.
All right, Caden, very good points. With all that being said, let's jump into who we think is going to be the World Series champion this year.
Yes, yeah, the Yankees-Dodgers matchup in history, it's the biggest matchup in all of baseball history. They have met in the Fall Classic 11 times. The Yankees hold an 8-3 record. This is the first time they're meeting in the World Series since 1981. So this is great. You have the two richest hit. I know the Dodgers don't have as many wins. The Yankees are 27-13 in their World Series history. The Dodgers are somehow 7-14 in their World Series history. They somehow have more losses than the Yankees, even though the Yankees got 20 more appearances than them, which is crazy to think about. But in this series, it's going to be a great matchup. This is what baseball wants. The viewership should be a lot higher.
I was going to say, this is going to be one of the most highest viewed World Series
in recent memory, especially compared to last year's between the Rangers and D-backs, which was really. I mean, for one, it wasn't the greatest series by any means, and for two, no casual fan is going to be turning into.
Those teams are one that draw a lot of.
Yeah, but when you have the Yankees and the Dodgers, who are the two biggest names in the entire sport,
and two biggest markets in the entire country.
Yeah, you have LA and New York. The viewership should be really high, which is going to be great for baseball.
Most definitely.
And I think this should be a really tight, really close series. One thing I did want to mention, though, is, if you're looking at, your World Series MVP stuff, yes, obviously you have, the 6 guys we just mentioned, or maybe like a Garrett Cole, Flaherty, Yamamoto, something like that. Look out for, those back half of the lineup guys who have really been producing for both teams so far this postseason. Kike Hernandez with the Dodgers is, I think, 3rd in all of active players in postseason home runs. He has 15 career postseason home runs. He's built for that big moment in October to be able to hit that big bomb. Same with Max Muncy. He had a stretch in the NLCS where he reached base 12 consecutive plate appearances.
Good point, good.
Which is the most all-time in postseason history. Then, and the Yankees in the latter half, if you can have someone, even like Glaber at the leadoff, who's been hitting a lot better as recently, if Ben Rice can come around behind the plate and look good for them, even like an Alex Verdugo or something, if one of them can come up and get big, it'll really help propel these teams into winning the series, maybe even get one of those lesser-known players get that World Series MVP, like Steve Pearce in 2018 for the Red Sox.
It's a shot at.
With that all being said, though, my prediction, though, if you can't tell by the hat, is the Dodgers. I like the offense a lot better. The starters, wishy-washy between the Yankees, but I like that back half of that Dodgers bullpen, which I think is more than the Yankees, which I think is what the series will come down to. With your Evan Phillips, your Blake Trinans, even, really those two, because that's your big names, the big high leverage guys you'll need. I have more faith in them than I do like a Luke Weaver, a Clay Holmes, something like that.
Now, Caden, those are all valid points. I'm going to do opposite of what you said. You're going off the logic in the back half and everything. I'm going to name one person who has historically not performed well and not lived up to expectations. But I think Aaron Judge is finally going to have himself a series. He's going to put it all together. He's going to find the ball, and he's going to hit bombs, Caden.
He's going to hit bombs?
Yes, that is my prediction. I think that even though on paper the Dodgers should get it done, the Yankees and the Yankee Magic is going to find a way for them to come out with a close win in the 7-game series.
I mean, if Judge has this series you are talking about, it'll definitely bode more in the Yankees' favor, especially the way, Juan Soto's been able to crush the ball all postseason. The way Stan's been able to. If Judge can get it figured out and look more like, a top 3 player in baseball like we know he is, especially in the regular season, it'll be great for the Yankees. That definitely will push him more into their favor.
Either way, Caden, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be electric and one of the most looked at MLB playoffs
in a while. For sure. Yeah, it'll be up there with probably, the 2019 World Series, 2017, 2016, around there. I have a feeling, that viewership will be up there more towards those late 2010 series that featured classics like the Cubs Guardians or Indians at the time, your Dodgers Astros, and even the Nationals Astros.
Most definitely, Caden. Well, that's all we have time for this episode. Make sure you guys check out our UFC preview and, of course, our football predictions, which will be up tomorrow morning on Friday. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.